Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Aberdeen Township Workshop Meeting for Thursday, July 17, 2025. Where is this year going? This meeting is being held in conformance with the Open Public Meeting Act. Notice was given to the newspapers of record, posted in the municipal building, and filed with the township clerk. The next open public meeting of this council will be held on Thursday, August 21st, 2025. 7:30 p.m. Roll call, please.
Councilman Cannon.
Here.
Councilman Herschel.
Here.
Councilwoman Kelly.
Excuse.
Councilman Martucci.
Here.
Councilman Swindell.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Montal.
Here.
Mayor Taglieri.
Yes, thank you very much. Nicole Johnson. Hi. Sit up here. Anyone let us out? How are you?
I'm good, Mayor. How are you? Just to meet you in person.
So glad you're here.
Thank you. Yes.
Right.
Yes, he does.
Why don't you come here and
Oh,
we'll do
okay.
some photos afterwards? Come on
Okay.
over here. Deputy, if you want.
Nice to meet you in
I'll
person.
introduce you to everybody else.
Okay.
Well, we've got somebody here tonight who's got accomplishments and achievements who deserve recognition. At least that's what your neighbor thinks. So we're going to read this and find out. We're going to read this and find out if it's true.
Okay.
Whereas Nicole Johnson was born and raised in Philadelphia and moved to Aberdeen in 2004, smart move, where she now lives with her husband and son. Whereas Nicole received her BSN from Villanova University, she worked as a pediatric ICU nurse for 20 years at CHOP, great hospital, right? St. Joe's in Patterson and R.W. Johnson, New Brunswick. Whereas in March of 2021, Nicole ventured into the School of Nursing and found her true calling. As the school nurse for Braden Elementary and Summit, Nicole is able to connect with students and make a difference every day. Whereas in October 2024, Nicole received accolades for her heroic actions when a Summit resident collapsed from a heart attack. Outside the school building, Nicole immediately assisted with life-saving CPR, defibrillation efforts, and saved this person's life.
With Yes, I worked at AD from the school.
All right, good. Nicole was celebrated and honored by the Summit Board of Education in 2025 as Nurse of the Year. So now, on behalf of this great council behind me and as Mayor of the Township of Aberdeen, I do hereby proclaim our congratulations to Nicole for her outstanding achievements and commitment to the service of others, and urge our citizens to pay special tribute to this wonderful person of our community.
Thank you so much.
We'll get everybody.
Rob, Joseph. Yes. Ready, everybody look here for a minute? One, two, three. Awesome. And then you want to, oh, perfect. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Mayor and Council, our next presentation tonight is something that's, I think, an extremely good project that we worked on this past year and a half. Last summer, myself and the Recreation Director, Keith Heckman, we met with most of our sports associations and just asked to talk to them about some of their wants and needs. So they gave us a different list of things, and we tried to help them as much as we could in last year's budget. And we had a couple requests, and some did not request, but we sat and talked about that some of our teams asked for automatic defibrillator machines, AEDs. And some didn't, because, again, it was really what they really needed at the time. And myself and Keith, and then I know we talked to all of you at different points of the fall and our winter, and said for this year's budget, we'd like to include the AED machines for all of our clubs. So they have started to come in, and we asked that some of our associations come down tonight to receive their AEDs. Some have already taken them because they want to make sure they have them for their upcoming seasons. Baseball actually was here earlier today to grab theirs. So I believe the Matawan Aberdeen Basketball Association is here, soccer club, football I think was here as well. Football is here as well, and I'm not quite sure if anyone else is here or not. But if you are, we can have their representatives come up, please. Come up forward to council, and we would like to give you your machines. And Keith, why don't you come up too, because I know you were a big part of this to take care of. So we can, everyone wants to come on this side of the dais. We appreciate everything, and we hope that you will never have to use one of these, but we would prefer that at least you have them in case you need them. Yes.
You guys, I think we should say each one first. One thing you want to have to do is show me
We have all of these, we have the rest of them. We have it, thank you. Oh, you let me know. Yeah, thank you so much. Oh, okay. I can go front and get a picture and put one of the boxes. Oh, okay.
I don't, I think it just came in.
She's so happy.
Awesome. I want to look over here. Ready? 3, 2, 1. One more. Thank you. Congratulations.
Sir? Sure, he did make you carry it, right?
You know me. I'm good at giving.
I'm the brawn.
Mayor, if you'd like me to continue, I can go through the rest of the agenda. So first off, which is on the agenda for this evening, is an ordinance for introduction. This is through the Board of Education, and it's an ordinance authorizing the guarantee for, through the township, for capital equipment, lease revenue, for a bond that they will be paying through the Monmouth County Improvement Authority. The township, along with the borough, have to agree to a guarantee for the district. And this is what this is asking for, and a public hearing will be at a later date. Our regular consent resolution for this evening is the town council approving for our grant submission for application and execution from a DOT grant for the improvements to Andover Lane and Iron Gate Lane. Number 80 is the approving a contract for a non-leaded gasoline fuel. This is the township gas for our vehicles and equipment. Item 81 is from the state of New Jersey. This is increasing the public contracts bid threshold from $44,000 to $53,000. This is done through the DCA every 5 years now, guys, right? Yes. 5 years that the treasurer's office will go through, and as long as the township has a QPA, which we do, which is Jackie Struble, that the township is allowed to have our bid threshold moved from 44 to 53, and this is just approving that for future. Item 82 is the extension of the third quarter grace period for the taxes. This was, as you all know, we passed our budget back in June, or end of May, excuse me, and this is beyond our control with other agencies that have to review our budget and other financials that come in from other districts, and this is just allowing them to move our grace period. Tax bills have started to be mailed out already. They started yesterday, so the waves are already hitting through the post office, but we also believe that an extension would be needed from our regular dependent grace period to August, and then adding on to August 20th. And item 83 is the opposition to the Raritan Bay, installation of the 23.4-mile methane natural gas pipeline through Raritan Bay. Mayor, if you just want to give us an update on that.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Brian. If you all remember, many years ago, this was an issue. It's better known as the NESC pipeline. It's bringing in gasoline, natural gas from Pennsylvania through Middlesex County, and the original plans had it going through Monmouth County, more particular to Matawan, Aberdeen, and out to Keyport Harbor. Earlier this week, in fact, we invited someone to come and speak to us. So what happened earlier this week when the permits were finally filed, I think we got some pretty good news that the pipeline will now go out Old Bridge, Lawrence Harbor vicinity, and not Keyport. But at a meeting with the Bay Shore mayors, we got together a couple of weeks ago and unanimously came against this pipeline. So tonight you see our opposition going to the state, opposing this pipeline with possible hazard to our bay that we all love so very much in our beaches in Monmouth County. That's everything in a nutshell. So things got a little better for us personally in Monmouth County, but still it's our beaches and our bay and habitat and everything else. And this is a pipeline that's going out to Long Island, and this is of no benefit to anyone in the state of New Jersey at all. It's all from New York State. So here's our opposition to it tonight, and I thank the council for allowing me to put this on the agenda and their support. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. And our final resolution for this evening is Resolution 84, and this is the authorization to enter into the shared service agreement with the County of Monmouth, Monmouth County Sheriff's Office, in the township for the providing public safety, answering, and dispatch services. We've been talking about this for a while. Everything is in process. This is for our portion of the agreement that will be passed this evening, I hope, and then we'll be forwarded off to the Sheriff's Office for the county commissioners to do their portion. But we are moving forward, and everything is going smoothly. So if there's any questions, then I will not have an executive session for this evening. So if there's any questions, I can try to answer.
Thank you. Thank you. Any questions? Not seeing any at the moment? Great. Can I have a motion to adjourn to regular meeting tonight?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Thank you so much. Okay, so welcome to the regular meeting of the Aberdeen Township Council for Thursday, July 17th. This meeting is being held in conformance with the Open Public Meetings Act. Notice will be given to the newspapers of record, posted in the municipal building, and filed with the township clerk. The next meeting will be Thursday, August 21st, 2025 at 7:30 p.m. Roll call, please.
Councilman Campbell.
Here.
Councilman Hirsch.
Here.
Councilman Martucci.
Here.
Councilman Swindell.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Montone. Here. Mayor Tagliarini.
Yeah, thank you very much. Can I ask you all please to rise as we do a moment of silence and salute the Arthur flag. Please keep in mind all the brave men and women in uniform who protect us on our soil and on foreign lands to allow us to meet in forums like this. I'd also like to give you a moment for any personal intentions you might have personally.
With allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, all for sit. Just some reports. Any member from council would like to report on what's been going on from here with the citizens first? Hold your thoughts. Okay, we'll open it up to the citizens for your opinions on agenda items only, not for anything that you've seen tonight or heard tonight. So if anybody has any questions about agenda items, please come up now, and the floor is yours. Okay, first. Not seeing anything that I was right. Okay, now we'll do reports.
Got a little day on.
What's that?
You got a little day on.
Okay. Any reports from council? There's a lot of stuff that went on.
There's a lot of stuff. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, I just want to mention the celebration for the 4th of July that was off on the ring day on the 11th. What a spectacular night. I mean, I want to congratulate everybody in this town who had their hand in this. And a lot of people work on this. I mean, it was an event that we should all be proud of. The crowd was great. The weather was perfect. The food trucks were spectacular. The fireworks spectacular. So nice to see the community get together and enjoy themselves like that. So I just wanted to thank everyone. Ryan, thank you so much for heading the team that brought this all to us. And I would mention everybody by name, but I always leave somebody out. I don't want to do that. So I'm just going to say everyone who worked on it, thank you so much.
Well done.
I had the distinct pleasure of attending what should have been our second concert of the season. Turned out to be our first concert due to weather concerns. It was an amazing evening. I again, the weather was perfect. Not too hot, not too muggy. The band, 80s Revolution, was just dead on. They really did a great job. And again, I want to thank our rec department, our special events coordinator, for putting on an incredible show once again. Looking forward to the next couple of shows in August. And don't forget, we have 2 going on at Cambridge Park in October. So don't miss those either.
Thank you, Councilman. Anyone else?
Let's see something. So I also want to thank the rec department. I know that you guys basically got every kid that wanted, wanted to go to summer camp, in the summer camp this summer, which is a contrast from last summer. And so thank you very much. That's awesome for the parents, especially the working parents of Aberdeen. I wanted to mention that the shared service you really touched on at the end of the workshop meeting. But I previously mentioned in one of the reports, we went down to the sheriff's office and we saw the technology that the sheriff has. So for many years, as residents are aware, the dispatch is done over here locally. And that was very important for many years because all of the streets on one side of town start with the same letter, and that was before GPS and things like that. As the modern technology has caught up with dispatching and everything else, we have plans here at the township so that we have taken care of. There are some dispatchers who work here that will no longer be working in the building. And we have ensured that all of those employees, particularly long-term ones, are taken care of in one way or another, found another spot with either our agency or another to ensure that they're all taken care of, particularly because they're residents too. But most importantly, like this kind of went past in the workshop, but this is a huge enhancement to the public safety of the town. One, it puts us on the same radio band as Matawan, so when our officers respond to our school district, I see some schools, and you guys know there's an issue, and this will resolve it, which is extremely important for God forbid there's for our officers, or kids, for everybody. And so that's number one. That was the biggest public safety issue that would keep me up at night as a council person. And from the Board of Ed members shaking their head, you don't always agree with me, but we're on the same page on this one, right? And so that's one. And then two, I don't go into great detail because it is security measures, but we took a tour of that facility down there that's connected to the hard line and can never go offline unless there's an absolute utter catastrophe. Like Sandy would not knock this building out anymore, where it very much did when we had our dispatch here. Our cameras can be hooked, all our cameras can be hooked into this system, and the way that they can respond to an emergency, we received a demonstration that was, from a civil liberties standpoint, possibly terrifying, but from a public safety standpoint, was incredible. And so, I'm really looking forward to that. I think it's a real advancement for our town. I'm glad we were able to do it. And the other thing that's very important is this building will remain open. So I know that I speak for everyone on the council. We feel that this is a public building, and I go to a lot of different towns, and their buildings are locked a lot of times, and we don't really think that's appropriate because even if you're riding home and you can't make it to the bathroom, everyone pays for the bathroom who's a taxpayer here. And so the building will continue to remain open 24 hours, and we're working on arrangements to ensure that that's the case with people and technology and otherwise. And then the bottom line, which in light of public safety isn't always the most important, but is obviously very important to taxpayers. This saves hundreds of thousands of dollars in taxpayer money through the shared service agreement. So I'm really proud that we've gotten to this step. We've done it without hurting any of our valued employees, and we can do it with basically maintaining the same service and enhance it. That's not often that we can do that without a Sophie's Choice up here, and this worked out very well. So I want to thank everyone for that, and Brian, particularly for your work on it. And our police, I know the chief isn't here, but the chief worked a lot on it too, so please convey that to him. Thank you.
Well said, sir. Thank you. Moving right along, I'm going to ask for a motion for our minutes. Yes.
We don't say who we
I
did.
wanted to quick, I just did my report, Councilman. Again, I also do want to piggyback off of July 4th, part 2 and 11. But yes, it went very well. I don't think I could ask for a better, smooth July 4th this year, even with the high tide. And yes, it was a beautiful day, but it was a little hot for a little bit, but I think everything worked out to be great. I will thank the police department, the fire department, Office of Emergency Management, the Matawan Aberdeen EMS, our DPW, the Sheriff's Office, all of our mutual aid agencies, emergency service agencies that came in from meeting the Marine units for fire and security purposes, other fire departments that were in, ready to go just in case there was an issue, and of course, there are fire departments covering the town as our districts were down at the fireworks area for any problems. So again, and of course, recreation. Keith and Brittany did a great job. I think at the end, right after the fireworks ended, myself, Keith, and Dwayne were standing next to each other, and we did a clap to end July 4th, and did a high five, and then said, now on to the next event. Because it does not stop for us to keep on going. So I know Keith is already working on for September for Aberdeen Day. Besides summer camp, which is running very smooth. Guys just came back again from a trip today, and again, everyone's very happy. So, again, these events, we can always put something on, but Mayor and Council, you allow us to make sure that we give the residents the best kind of events. And I think that shows, especially with July 4th, and I know with many of the others that we have, because afterwards, the people that were thanking us and said, can't wait to see next year, that was probably one of the happier things that I got to hear and see, because that makes me very happy that we can bring these events to everybody. So again, but it couldn't have been done without every department and agency that I basically named, and again, especially without Keith and Brittany, because two people that can handle all of that is a great thing for all of us, and Dwayne and his staff, making sure everything stayed clean and appropriate, and we're still there to stay at the end of the night to make sure that the park was totally cleaned up and ready to go the next morning for residents to enjoy the park on Saturday. Again, like Councilman Hirsch said, we are technically on our second but first concert of the summer, and hopefully we'll get through the rest of July without any monsoons to cancel any, but just so everyone understands and the residents understand, because I know some people don't get happy when it's sunny out and we say we're canceling the concert because we're praying that the weather stays good or it does rain at 7 o'clock at night. But a lot of the groups that we work with and the sound people, they have requirements that they have to set up or leave their areas where they're coming from. Not everyone is from town at a certain time. So we have cutoff times that we have to make a decision. And I think some of you have been in my office when we're dealing with issues in town, especially when it comes to weather. So you see what is going on with the weather stations on and trying to figure out, okay, sometimes it is rolling the dice to say, okay, are we really going to trust the weather? Which, it's the only people that can keep their jobs and lie to us about what the weather is going to be. But we kind of have to take those forecasts and make a decision on the concerts that start at 7 o'clock at night. And sometimes we have to make a decision by 11 a.m. and sometimes we get to 2 o'clock. But just so everyone understands that, when we have to cancel a concert, it's not something that we want to do. It's just that if we keep the concert going and then it does rain and we can't have the concert, we have now paid for that concert that no one got to see. So we're trying to roll the dice and gamble to make sure that if we cancel it, it does rain. And if it doesn't, and if they say it's going to rain, it does not do that. So we can make sure that the residents, again, are getting what they're asking for. And then we do try to work a rain date into some of these concerts. And I know we are doing that for Screaming Broccoli for August, to have them come back since they were the first concert that had to be canceled. So just so everyone understands the concerts, but yes, please hope everyone else to keep on coming down to our concerts. We try to make sure that we have a food truck down there, which we do work on every Tuesday to make sure it's there so people can come down and eat at the concert and relax. And usually we have some kind of dessert truck there too for everyone to enjoy and have a good time. And I also just would like to introduce Brandon Kaiserman, who's sitting in the back. That is my intern for this year from town. He's a senior in high school, or going to be a senior in high school, and he's doing very well. He's on week 3 working in the manager's office, and honestly wants to do everything, which is great because he is getting that chance. So hopefully, if he returns, I won't have to even explain anything to him. He'll just walk back into his desk and know what he's doing. So I just want everyone to welcome Brandon. If you guys have not met him yet, please. Mayor, rather than that, you're ready to move on.
Before we move on, I think we have a special guest with us zoning. We've already introduced the fact that it's on for this evening. Would you like to talk to us about one of your favorite things, opposition to the NSC pipeline?
I would be happy to do that, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Mayor and Council, for the opportunity. My name's Allison McLeod, and I actually am a resident here as well. I live at 100 Fordham Drive in Aberdeen. But in my day job, I work for an environmental nonprofit called the New Jersey League of Conservation Voters. And so I was actually already working on a pipeline when I found out it directly affects Aberdeen. The Williams Transco is a gas company, and they are proposing something called the Northeast Supply Enhancement Pipeline. It is a pipeline that has previously been denied 3 times by the state of New Jersey for failure to meet water quality standards. And also 3 independent scientific studies have shown that it is unneeded, that we don't need the gas. It's important to note that this pipeline does nothing for New Jersey. We do not get any of the gas. It takes frac gas methane from Pennsylvania and it transports it through New Jersey. We just have to deal with the headache and the infrastructure. And then it goes under the, if constructed, which we're working very hard to prevent, it would go under the Raritan Bay and the gas would go to New York. And it would completely benefit New York, whether they keep it or they sell it. This is just a for-profit company and we just have to deal with the headache. In the proposal, Williams Transco in the beginning of June announced their proposal to the federal government, FERC, the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission. They did not talk to the towns, nobody knew about it, and they only had a 3-week comment period for any town, public, community to register to FERC that they had opinions about this. The public comment period closed June 24th. So by the time that anybody even knew about it, basically the comment period was over, and Transco is just not talking to towns. They have asked the federal government to fast track this. They have asked to not have to do any more environmental impact statements. They've said, oh, what we did in 2017, 2020, which I remind you, failed to meet New Jersey standards. They've said that's good enough. So we've been working and talking to a lot of the towns in the Bayshore area. Matawan passed a resolution against it. Keyport passed a resolution against it. The Monmouth County Commissioners have passed a resolution against it. Nobody needs this. We all appreciate the Bayshore and we care about the Bayshore, and this esteemed body and many other communities in the Bayshore have done a ton to clean it up. You know, we've got clammers out there, we've got fishers out there, we use it for recreation. This would do nothing but suspend sediments, suspend toxins, and then we would have the pipe under the bay. The other thing I want to just bring up is safety standards. Because this is an interstate pipeline, it falls basically under a single walled standard, which just means it's a thinner walled pipeline. And again, previously, Transco had represented, you know, we've heard several officials, they had represented that the pipeline would actually go through Aberdeen and through Matawan. What they presented to DEP now, it doesn't show that, but they also said they didn't change the project. So it makes no sense to us. They are not talking to towns, they're not doing any due diligence, and they're basically just trying to shove this through undernight. So if, you know, the council sees fit to pass this resolution of opposition, we would really support that. We're trying to do our best to make sure community members are aware of this proposal. And we want to also let you know that there is a public comment period open right now with the DEP for their permits. So you can make comments as a body to the DEP. The other option, just to make you aware, my organization, full disclosure, has filed as an intervener. It doesn't really mean anything except that it would preserve your legal right to take action later on if you want to appeal this project. Towns did not get that opportunity, mostly because, like I said, they give you 3 weeks. A lot of towns don't even meet every month in the summer. So towns do have the legal right to file what's called like out of time after the deadline, and we can connect you with folks that are working on that on the legal side on how to do that. All that does, it doesn't mean you're taking any action right now, it just preserves your legal right to take action later. The reason you're allowed to do it out of time as a town is if you can prove that there was a reason, and it's very easy to say the reason is that nobody gave you notice. We only found out because a colleague of mine happens to be a councilman in another town where they're building a compressor station and they needed local permits, so they had to tell them. And that's the only reason anybody found out. So I thank you for your action on this. You know, we all care about the Bay. We're all very proud to be part of the Bayshore, and we want to keep it clean. So happy to answer the questions as I can, but it'd be great if Transco was here to answer questions for you, but I'm happy to share what I can.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Is it all underground? What does it look like?
So it's the majority of the pipe that comes out of Pennsylvania. It's supposed to be 8 feet underground is what they've said, but they have to dig everything up to get it there. But it does come above ground in what's called a compressor station because they have to compress the gas. They're building a new one up north of here in Somerset, and then there's an existing compressor station in Old Bridge that they want to expand, again, it's not really clear, to compress the gas again. So that is like a big, it sounds like it's just like a little
Where is that in
station.
Old Bridge?
It is behind, like, you know Lemaire off 35, the Camelot at Lemaire? It's behind that, and my understanding is it would cut through over the Cheesequake Creek by like where Route 9 and 35 intersect, and then it would go through Old Bridge towards the Bay Shore, like in like the Cliffwood area of Old Bridge, and go enter the bay there. The previous time they proposed this, our understanding was it was supposed to go into the bay at Keyport. So it's not clear to us why they're saying they didn't change anything, but it's in a different place. So they're not being very transparent, to be honest. But yeah, so it would go out. What they've currently proposed is over in like around the Cliffwood area of Old Bridge. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, just tell me if I'm correct. I believe you're right about the underground, because I think the path they were going to be taking, it would come through Mattawan, we don't know where it was, but then in Aberdeen, it was going to be on Church Street. And Church would have been dug up to Lloyd, down Lloyd, into Keyport, down to Bay. That was the original plan, so when you told me the other day that it might be changed, it was a great thing. It doesn't change our opposition for all the points you made up about the environment and everything else. So we're just certainly glad that it appears it's not going to be coming through Monmouth County.
Yeah, then again, they also said they didn't change anything from last time, so it's just very odd, and I think what's important to note is they're not talking to any of the communities at all, so, but from what we can tell from what they filed at DEP, they're calling it the Raritan Loop, and it's up in Sayreville and Old Bridge is where the like actual infrastructure is going, but it does, again, they would have to dig up all the bay, so the fishing, the clamming, all that mess.
Thank you, Allison.
Thank you for the opportunity, I appreciate it, and we appreciate you considering the resolution. Thank you.
Any reports from the PD, sir? No, sir. Good. Very good. I think that takes care of the reports. We'll move on to number 7. Councilman Hirsch, please.
Mayor Taglerini, Deputy Mayor Montano, council members would like to make a motion to accept the minutes of June 26, 2025.
Second.
Councilman Cannon.
Yes.
Councilman Hirsch.
Yes.
Councilman Martucci.
Yes.
Councilman Swindell.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Montal.
Yes.
Mayor Tagliarini.
Yes, thank you very much. Moving on to number 8, I'd just like to make a quick comment to our manager. I would hope that by the time we get into the heavy discussion of number 8, that we'll have clearance from our own bond council. This affects us in our borrowing. Also, I would like very much to have a board of ed maybe attend and answer any questions that council might have about this particular bond. And I think that, and of course, our attorney should be reviewing this, so we'll have more chance to review this now also. So those 3 doable?
Yeah.
Good. Terrific. Deputy Mayor?
Yeah, Mayor Taglerini and fellow council members, I would like to make a motion to introduce ordinance number 10-2025 on first reading by title and to order the same to be published by summary in the July 23rd, 2025 issue of the Asbury Park Press, together with notice of its introduction and passage on first reading by title, and that it will be further considered for final passage after a public hearing at a meeting of the Township Council to be held on August 21st, 2025 at 7:30 p.m.
Second.
Ordinance authorizing the guarantee by the Township Council of the Township of Aberdeen of payment of principal and interest on a capital equipment lease revenue bond, series 2025, Mattawan Aberdeen Regional School District Board of Education project of the Monmouth County Improvement Authority. Councilman Cannon.
Yes.
Councilman Hirsch.
Yes.
Councilman Martucci.
Yes.
Councilman Swindell.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Montal.
Yes.
Mayor Tagliarini.
Yes, thank you very much. Councilman Cannon?
Yes, Mayor and fellow council members, I'd like to make a motion to adopt the consent agenda, which consists of resolutions 2025-79 through 2025-84.
Second.
Yes.
Councilman Rich.
Yes.
Councilman Martucci.
Yes.
Councilman Swindell.
Yes.
Mayor Longfellow.
Yes.
Mayor Campbell.
Yes, thank you very much. Number 10, hearing of the citizens on any item, new business, petitions, whatever's on your mind. Microphone is yours.
Mark Bishop, 245 Center Street. I do have a question on behalf of Bob Geiger, 146 Deerfield Lane, if you'll allow me. He is asking when the road work will begin on Deerfield Lane. He said that it was reported that the work would begin this summer, but he's scared that the summer is quickly slipping away.
We work until the end of the company's closed, so there's a pre-con meeting happening tomorrow. They'll be out, and like they've done in every other part of Deerfield Lane, the engineers send out a letter within 48 hours, and all will be starting in certain days.
Okay, so it's still planned to start this summer?
Yeah, nothing, I think, actually, Deerfield Lane all got letters saying that the work will be starting, and there'll be, you know, I don't know who told them that or told them that their work wasn't starting, but
Okay.
they're, I mean,
All right, thank you.
companies can only do so much at a time, so they're in another town right now, and they'll come to Aberdeen next.
Anyone else have anything on their minds they'd like to discuss with us, ask us? Not seeing anyone, executive session, there will be none, no executive session. So I'm going to ask for a meeting this meeting to be adjourned.
That motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.